Welcome back to UNX Fast Forward, your daily dose of everything ninja. I'm Christy Ganji.
And I'm Ethan Swanson. Right now, we're in the next round of qualifiers to qualify for the second major event on December 14th. And we just got off of Centercourt, Larence for the first qualifier to get there.
Yeah, so now we have our top 3 men, top 3 women who are into our second major. And if you want to get to our championship, remember, throughout the UNX season, you have to be in the top 8 men or the top 8 women, and you can only be there if you score points in every one of those majors.
Right, those 3 majors, and we're getting up to the second major. And so now we have 3 men, 3 women who have earned their way there. And this course was really tough. 4-minute time limit, only 3 finishers.
Yeah, the course was so tough, and I think, you know, there was definitely one section in particular, the sky bars, so difficult.
And let's take a look at the men's results. And taking that 3rd place spot, barely finishing the course in time, less than half a second left, Michael Torres.
Yeah, Torres had a really good run, looked strong throughout, he just didn't move really quickly.
Well, he ran really early too, and that's so tough to gauge, you know, what the time and strategy and everything is. But he scared the crap out of me watching him go through, and it's like, let's go, Torres, let's go, let's go, let's go. But he knew what he was doing. He finished just in time.
Yeah, finished just under the wire. It was so close. We had to go to video review. Finished just with that half a second.
Anthony DeFranco actually told him, because the timer was a little bit off, he told him that he failed, and Torres put his head down just like this, like 20 seconds.
Went back, looked at the video, and he did actually get the finish, but a really impressive run.
Yeah. And second place, also finishing Joe Moravsky pretty early in the order. I think he ran 15th out of 70-plus competitors.
Yeah, Joe Moravsky, one thing about Joe was his whole run looked really smooth, and honestly, when he took the sky bars, the toughest obstacle on the course, he made it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Joe does, though. He makes hard things look easy. That's what he does. And he's just so efficient on and off the obstacles, getting on, getting off. There's no surprise that he finished and is making his way to his first UNX major.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see him compete at the major. But then in first place, we had Jamie Rahn with such a strong performance.
Yeah.
He took first place by a pretty large margin.
Yeah, I mean, he was ahead of Joe by, I believe, 12 seconds, which on this course is a lot, but it still just goes to show how tough this course was. The 12 seconds separated first and second place.
And the thing that I really liked about Jamie's run was when you go back and watch it, he doesn't like sprint in between obstacles. He doesn't look like he's rushing. It's just a very composed run. He looks very confident on every single obstacle, took the rest where he needed to, and still ended up with the fastest time.
Right, and you know, he tried to qualify for the first major twice and didn't end up making it, so it's awesome to see both him and Joe earning their way to the second major for the first time for them.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some new faces coming to that major, and like we said in the episode, we have 3 of our major competitors from the East Coast who did not make it: Joe Meisner, Josiah Papel, and Naja Richardson.
Yeah, and I mean, similarly on the women's side, we have 3 fresh faces coming out of the East Coast. 3rd place going to Abby Clark, American Ninja Warrior veteran.
Yeah, Abby had a really good run, got to the sky bars, and with her gymnastics background and the way that she looked so comfortable on Lachey's, I really thought she had a good chance to complete this obstacle.
She was so close. I mean, you saw just one side of the cradle hitting the front, the other side getting up and above. She was within inches of, I think, clearing that obstacle, and that would have been amazing to have Abby clear that one.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. And then in second place, we had Jordyn Carr, extremely fast run, got to the sky bars with a great time, and then didn't rest before she attacked the sky
No rest,
bar.
just went right into it. But you know what? Is she actually told me afterwards she's been training ninja for less than a year.
Wow.
And she's right. But I was talking to her dad. She's been rock climbing for a decade. So okay, that makes sense. But I think that goes with experiences. The more experienced athletes you watch, Jamie Rahn, Joe Moravsky, Michael Torres, get to the sky bars and rest. And Jordyn was like, I got to keep going. So, you know, hopefully that's something that she, I think, needs to tweak for the majors. But second place, she's going to the major. That's a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, going to the major, and I think you look at this competition, you take some lessons learned, bring them to the major, and you come to isolation and really try to figure out maybe a better plan, maybe some better rest management.
And that first place spot going to Ava Calais, and she's home gym advantage, and you know, Anthony DeFranco and Mark Antioquia Gressmith told me to watch out for her. I was like, okay, everyone's got their local heroes, but she proved it. She came out, took first place in a stacked women's field.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we had 6 athletes from our first major competing in this qualifier, and Ava comes out and takes first place. You could see her rocking the Centercourt team shirt, you know, home gym.
Repping hard.
Repping hard, but at the same time, we saw that the home gym for Josiah Papel didn't really pay off. He fell early, and so it's an advantage, but it's not a huge advantage. And she came out and she proved herself.
Yeah, which is going to be awesome to see. Like we said, 6 completely new people coming out of the East Coast, going to that major. The only returning ninja, Michael Torres.
Michael Torres, who actually qualified in the Midwest region.
Yep.
So he comes over to the East Coast, takes a spot from those East Coast ninjas. But honestly, just such a good competition. There was so much like crazy stuff that happened, some big falls, close calls, which we're going to jump into next.
Right, and these are the ninjas that were so close to qualifying, first of which Kadenleb Sacker, who really separated himself among the competition, being only one of 4 people to clear the sky bars, but failed on double time, and unfortunately that wasn't good enough. You had to clear the course to be a top 3 on the men's side.
Yeah, and if Kaden could have figured out that obstacle and finished the course, it would have put him into a qualifying spot because, like we said, Torres was so close to finishing that pretty much anybody else who finished would have been faster.
Well, not only that, but Kaden was actually on the fastest pace out of anybody who got to double time, but then obviously just fell.
Yeah, Kaden moved so quickly.
Then we got to talk women's side. Rachel Brown in 4th place, missing qualifying by 1 spot by 9 seconds.
Yeah, Rachel was moving good. She had a good pace. But I think as the competition went on, the pace got faster and faster to the sky bars.
Yeah, I mean, the sky bars was the cutoff for the women's side of the competition, and we saw Rachel. She was taking a couple of rest breaks. She was on and off the obstacles really well, but in between obstacles transition, she didn't have the urgency that Ava and Abby and Jordyn had, and it cost her 9 seconds.
Yeah, and it all goes back to strategy because you look at Jamie Rahn's run and you can say the same thing and say, well, he didn't have a lot of urgency in between obstacles, but his plan, he knew he was going to come in, finish that course, and that was his strategy. And I got to think that was Rachel's strategy as well. So, hey, let me give myself the best chance to finish. Let me stay composed on everything and try to beat the sky bars.
Yep. Yeah. It's tough. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But another close call, Anthony Erdley. Oh my goodness, he got the move, and we're thinking, okay, just lock it in, and then failed the dismount by inches.
Yeah, I mean, this was such a heartbreaking run because you could see how technical that one move was for the sky bars, and to see somebody complete it and then fail on the dismount is so soul-crushing. But it just tells you, like, even past the hardest part of the obstacle, you cannot, like, take it easy. You gotta, like, until you're off that obstacle, don't, like, take it easy.
You can't take anything for granted. That's ninja, one little mistake, and that's it for your run. Unfortunately for Erdley, he was putting together a great run and just that little mistake, and that was it. And on the women's side, in 6th place, missing out 3 spots by qualifying, but really 13 seconds separating Olivia Asano from qualifying.
Yeah, Olivia Asano ran a little bit earlier in the run order. She had a good run, just couldn't figure out the sky bars. But, I mean, I think it comes back to, later in the run order, those athletes started picking up the pace a little bit more and more.
And I think it just speaks to, this many close calls, people that were right there, speaks to the level of athlete that was on the East Coast. At Centercourt, there's so many stacked names that, you're going to have a fight to be in the top 3.
Yeah, but I think we heard from Olivia that I think she's competing at another open qualifier.
She's going to be at Austin Ninjas this coming week. She's going to be at Ninja Warehouse week after that. And she's thinking about going to Warrior Jungle, thinking about going to every qualifier, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, she's got a great start for the championship. She has a lot of points for the majors.
Yes, she
finished
does.
in 5th place, and so she set herself up pretty well, and so she wants to punch her ticket back to the second major.
Yeah, and I think she's gonna. I think it's just a matter of time for Olivia. I think she's really strong. I think we'll see her back there. But we got to talk about some shocking falls, people that we expect to do really well, unfortunately slips, mistakes, whatever, and first of which, Naja Richardson.
Oh, Naj, this was such an unexpected thing for me. With his skill on flying bars, I thought, he's got this.
Yeah. Me too. Literally when I saw that obstacle, I thought the first person that came to mind was Naj. He flies, he loves flying bars, seen him skip flying bars, seen him connect flying bars. He's so lofty, the gymnastics background, and he actually got it in the cradles, but just popped right off.
Yeah, there's not too much to say. It's just a really technical move, and just didn't have it didn't have it.
Yeah, another really upsetting fall, and not even a fall, but a disqualification. Casey Rothschild was putting together a really strong run, really early in the run order, but then just, put her weight on that safety pad, the black pad, which is a disqualification, unfortunately, for Casey.
Yeah, unfortunately, and this one was really hard for me to watch because I thought that Casey, with the power that she's got and the upper body power, I thought that she would have had a really good chance at completing the sky bars, which would have been huge on the women's side.
And what's interesting is she ran really early, so we saw the pace increase later on. With the pace that she would have had to have completed the sky bars in order to be top 3, which very capable. I think we could have seen her do it, but unfortunately didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, just kind of a mistake there. Rules so important to pay attention to and to remember during your run. A lot of things happen during a run. It's hard to stay, mentally thinking about everything, but yeah, just a little unfortunate.
Yeah, and this next one, probably the most shocking fall for me, Josiah Papel falling, not necessarily that he falls, everybody falls, but where he did, falling on the fun dip.
Yeah, and I think it's a product of moving too quickly. I think he jumped into that fun dip and didn't really line his hips up, and his hips were behind him so that when he got to the bottom, it just shot right forward on him and peeled right off the bar.
Just popped him right off. We saw the same thing happen to Adam Burnett, who also trains there. But yeah, Josiah, it's just, I think you're right, he's such a fast athlete. We've seen him always blazing speed, no rest, going through, and a lot of times it's been working out for him. This was one of the times where it unfortunately did not.
Yeah, and I mean, we see this all the time. Like we said, Rahn, who took first, missed out on 2 competitions because of mistakes, and it's just part of Ninja. You're gonna have competitions where it doesn't go your way, there's some mistakes, but I definitely expect Josiah to bounce back from this one and come back strong.
Yeah, me too, definitely. I'm not sure if we're gonna see him in another qualifier this round, but definitely I would expect to see him in the 3rd round back in the East Coast.
Absolutely.
Another athlete, Connor Galvin, was putting together such a good run, and he's one of our last competitors. And Michael Torres was on the bubble, and I was thinking Michael Torres is in trouble if Galvin is running. But talk to me, what happened?
Yeah, another one, Connor Galvin with gymnastics background. He looked so good on the sky bar, went to make the technical move and couldn't hold on.
Man, he caught, I think he caught with his hips a little too far forward, and that swing back pulled him off, and he almost one arm saved it on a flying bar.
I mean, the problem was the bar rolls on you, so holding onto that one-handed would have been so difficult, but he almost made it. Oh.
Almost did. Another big shot. There's so many shocking falls here because there's so many great athletes, but Allie Mirto, and she was just coming off of the first major event.
Yeah, Allie jumped into the sliding bar, tried to make a couple big moves, and unfortunately just slid the bar off the track. That one was tough because I really expected Allie, especially with where she was in the run order, to put together a fast run.
Right, knowing where you have to get to and how fast you have to do it, and that might have been it, is maybe that pressure of I gotta go fast, forcing her to make a mistake that she wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like, similarly, Lucas Real, he was going so fast, and he fell on the side grab, which for somebody like Lucas, I would never expect him to fall here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of success on the side grab throughout the day, and for Lucas to go down there, it was very, very surprising.
Right, and he's another athlete that, getting the sky bars, obviously anything could happen, and a lot of people fell there, but I would expect he'd be one of the guys that I would think, yes, this is definitely doable for him to beat that obstacle, and unfortunately just didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, but there's so much more action to unpack from Centercourt. So many big-name athletes, amazing runs, crazy moments. So tomorrow we're going to be going through our Ninja Killers, some stats, big-time moments, our UNX top 4, and see if anybody can unseat Kylie Hughes' first finish at the major.
I got to say, there's one thing in particular I'm hoping to see on the top 4, and that's Joe Meisner's slide down the platform. One of my favorite moments from the competition. If you didn't see it, go check out Joe's run on UNX now. It was hilarious.
Or join us tomorrow. We're gonna be pointing fun at some different things that happened, like that moment. It was a great competition. But until then, I'm Ethan Swanson.
And I'm Chris Ganji, and we'll see you guys next time on UNX Fast Forward.